Chef Nico, hello.
Hello.
Thank you for taking this interview. I like to just start with, I don't know, an icebreaker or something.
Okay.
Do you watch The Bear?
We didn't start the last one.
You didn't start the last one.
No, not yet.
So you watched seasons 1 and 2.
We did, yeah.
Do you identify with Carmi at all?
A little bit. I think everybody's experience is different, so there is like points that I refer to, there's other like I don't, but...
Have you ever heard of any kitchens that are that intense?
I heard of it, yes, mostly through some of my staff or some friend that I started cooking with, but I never encountered that kind of like atmosphere of intensity.
So what I love about your story is that, you grew up in a small neighborhood outside of Paris.
I did, yeah.
And then you moved to the US in 2008.
Straight from Canada. I was in Canada for 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in Quebec.
In Quebec. What were you doing there?
I was cooking.
Okay.
I was working for the Fairmont Hotel outside of Quebec City. Hotel was very good for me because it was easy to travel with, So I was able to get to Canada with it. And when I moved here, it was to the Intercontinental because my resume was already familiar with hotel. It was able for me to sell myself to another hotel.
And who were you working with at the Intercontinental?
With Dominique Crane.
Okay.
She was just opening the restaurant Luce that was at the Intercontinental. The hotel was brand new. And a friend of mine knew her and so introduced me to her. And I made a quick trip from Quebec to San Francisco to meet with her. She gave me a chance, so got me a visa and that's how everything started.
Was she as famous back then, or she's gotten...
Oh, she got way more famous.
She got way more famous.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there a lesson that you learned in her kitchen that you still carry with you today?
The ambition that she had to go where she wanted to go, she had a vision and she was going for it. So I think it's remarkable, like she was patient enough to get where she is now and she succeeded on what she wanted to do, so.
Yeah, speaking of visions, what has been your guiding vision? Have you ever, kid Nico, 10 years old, like what was your dream and how has that changed?
There is one thing, like I didn't know as a kid I wanted to be a chef. One thing for sure is as a kid I always loved to eat. No matter what, like grew up in the suburb, My mom was cooking, my grandparents were cooking. I mean, nothing spectacular or nothing like crazy, but always like food around the house. And, it's the butcher shop right down the building we were living at. And across from it was the bakery. So it's waking up on the weekend.
This is such a Parisian story.
Fresh baked goods. And you get towards more like noon and it's the roasted chicken. Butcher shop,
Yeah.
It's all...
This is so Paris.
It is.
This is so French.
Even in the suburb, I just like to eat all the time. That's why when they asked me when I was, I don't know, right off middle school, what I wanted to do, I kind of like went that direction because I was like, I love to eat. Why not try cooking?
Middle school.
Middle school, yeah, like right off middle school. So
what was the first dish you perfected or that you were obsessed with?
I don't think I was ever obsessed with any dish. I just liked it to go for it,
Okay.
Just satisfy myself that I like to eat,
Were your parents supportive of you being a chef?
They were supportive, yeah. I mean, my family is more in a crafts kind of area. My mom was a florist,
Okay.
They didn't mind it. They actually encouraged me to go for it if I like it, And so I started cooking and I like the atmosphere of the kitchen. I like the camaraderie in it. I like that I was 16 at the time, that 15, 16, when I get in the kitchen, I get treated like a young man,
Not like a child.
No, yeah, exactly. So you grow up faster, So yeah, it was a lot of fun. And that's how everything started. It took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do because I like fine dining, kind of like rigorous organization and like discipline, but I like the fun in more casual atmosphere. So I always kind of like navigate in those two different water, I went from bistro to 1 or 2 Michelin star, never went to 3 and sort of like try to figure what I wanted to.
So you've worked at 2 Michelin star and 3 Michelin star?
Never 3.
Never 3.
Only 1 and 2. Yeah.
Only 1 and 2.
And I went also.
Did you ever want to work at a 3 Michelin star restaurant?
Honestly, when I was younger, I didn't really want to. I feel like when I had my experience of 2s, you know, from 1 to 2, I was feeling like a little more intense, you know.
Yeah, can you walk me through kind of the difference, how you were feeling?
It was getting a little too...
Fair?
Yeah, in some way. I feel like there was some, as a young age, I didn't like to have to not trust sort of all my colleagues, you know, because there was a little more of a competition with it, you know.
Yeah.
And I like the camaraderie better. You know?
Ah, okay.
So that's why I didn't like, you know, like I was working at the Scribe Hotel back in Paris when they had 2 Michelin stars. And I saw a lot of, I was a commis at the time. So all I was is following the chef de partie and doing all his minor tasks in some way, cutting his veg for his sauce or kale stuff for him, you know, all the little cuts on every vegetables or whatever. But I can see the tension between chef de partie that was trying to get to the next level, which would be sous chef, you know. And so there was a little bit of tension that I never cared for. But I like the learning curve, like the precision of techniques. So I like that aspect, and that's why I stick a little bit. But when I was done with it, I would always kind of try to go to a little more casual place where I can have fun with my colleague.
Yeah.
But after a while, I would be missing like discipline and being cleaner and being more organized. So I would go back to a Michelin star restaurant.
Yeah, so how did that feel going from Nico had the Michelin star and then you moved here to this location?
And we kept the star when we moved here.
Yeah, and it became more casual.
Yeah, but we still had a star after that, but the pandemic happened.
Yes.
And we had to figure out what we're going to do with the space. As the restaurant was going, we couldn't really do much. There was a small restaurant, we couldn't. Even when they start reopening and having social distancing, there is nothing we can do. The street is not really made to have a parklet because you see the traffic, it's not fun, you know?
Yeah.
So we had to think about what we're going to do. And the épicerie was kind of an idea I had in my head at some point, you know, because it would like sort of bring a lot of things that I like, food.
What are the things that you like?
Well, just like simple thing, you know, like baking. When we started, I couldn't really do croissant. We don't have enough oven space and stuff like that. So we went with lamination, which was the brioche feuilleté because it was bigger, so it was easier for me to produce out of the small oven that we have, you know. And also all those charcuterie that I like too, you know, and anything that could be to go, but that also means something to me that it's good, you know. Before we're doing bigger tart that we're doing by the slice, the flan that is a childhood memory to me. Little things, you know.
Yeah. So when you just moved here in 2008, what is something that you wish you could tell young Nico?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I will like spoil anything, so I don't know if I will tell him anything. You have to enjoy the ride, you know? But not that I was like worried, but I would tell him he's gonna be good. He's gonna be fine. It's gonna be good, you know. Enjoy it.
Have you thought about going back to Paris, or are you in the US for good?
No, I wasn't sure what I was gonna do after when I get here. I know I had the visa for a year, so I wasn't sure what was gonna happen from there. I thought at the end of my visa, I thought about going back to France, you know, because nothing was happening here, you know. I actually went back for a small, like a month. But a friend of mine that have a bistro in Sausalito needed help, so I went to help them, and and I came back as quick as like a couple of weeks or something like that, and in between I met Andrea. So
how did you guys meet?
Two mutual friends.
Tell us about when you first laid eyes on Andrea.
Well, I think we saw each other in the same wine bar on Park Street that we were frequenting.
Which one?
Amélie. Which is... Wait.
That's where we threw our first party.
Oh, really?
I love Amélie.
Yeah. So Andrea used to live like a few blocks away from it.
Okay.
Amélie is owned by French people.
Yeah, okay. I learned that there's this like French mafia going on.
I don't know if it's even mafia. I think I like to say the connection and
You're part of this French mafia.
I will not say a part of it. I'm connected to it.
Okay, a friend of
yeah. So the bar is owned by French people. So a lot of French people hang out, or at least 12, 15, 13 years ago. I could do the math in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So I was hanging out every now and then over there. So we saw each other.
15 years?
Yeah, 13.
So Amelie's been there for a long
We've
time.
been there like 15 maybe.
Wow, okay.
I'm assuming so because it was already open when I got here in 2008. So
Okay.
it's been around for a while.
Okay, so you saw each other at the bar.
We saw each other.
With your friends or without your friend?
Oh, it gotta be with my friend.
Okay.
Her friend was probably around. What happened after almost every service in the restaurant industry, you call your friend to see what they're doing to go out, you know.
Okay.
So some of my friends were at a party, which was Andrea's party, birthday party. So I met them over there and that's how we met.
Okay.
I just crashed the party.
You just crashed the party and then she fell in love. You both fell in
We
love.
fall in love, yeah. Crashed the party and they start dating and the rest is history, you know.
Yeah, when we were talking to our users about these places, a few of the girls were like, Chef Nico is so hot. He's taken, guys. He's happily married 12 years.
12 years, yeah.
We just like to, some fast fire questions. I just like ask you a question. You just say the first thing that comes to your head.
Okay.
Okay, what did you have for breakfast today?
Almost the usual, Greek yogurts, fruits, and butter.
For your very last meal on earth,
Ooh.
what would you eat?
I think I will just stay simple and go with my traditional bread and butter, like if I have to pick something out of everything, yeah. As a kid, that was my favorite thing. I'm gonna end it that way, It has to be like fresh bread and butter.
Kind of?
But the butter has to be real butter, Normandy butter, probably.
Normandy.
Yeah.
Okay. What's an unpopular item at Maison Nico that you think more people should appreciate and try?
I will go with the flan. I don't know if it's the less popular, but the flan is childhood memory to me, the vanilla one.
Ooh. We'll have to get a flan too.
This is my 4:30 snacks as a kid, And yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What is your favorite city in the world for food?
Well, I mean, what would I say? Something else in Paris, but it's not the most popular always.
I knew you were. Okay, last question. What is your favorite date night in the city? Restaurant,
Date night.
activity.
One place we're always coming back to is Routier.
Routier.
Yeah, next to Belinda.
Yes.
But we also went a few times to Dalida because we were also there. We lived in Sausalito.
Oh, okay.
And so anything on the way, it's fun. So lately we've been stopping to Routier and Dalida when we have a bite.